Hello, welcome back to the Phil Ward channel. So we left the Fairfield loop, Fairfield Horseshoe, last week with a bad foot. Been limping, it's been quite painful. It's much better. So I'm back out and I'm back in almost the same place. In fact, we will be going back up Fairfield, but there's quite a mystical set of only two Wainwrights. We're actually visiting 4 Wainwrights, but we've done 2 of them already. I can see one of them there. You've maybe caught a glimpse of it before. The weather forecast was for very heavy rain this morning and wind. Well, there is wet on the ground. There's no rain now, and certainly down here there's no wind. There will be some wind up there. Because of that forecast and because of the location, we're not bivvying today, we're in the tent. And I'll show you that setup when we get where we're going. It's a special place we're camping today. See you later. We've about a mile to walk from where I parked the car along this road. It gives me a chance to talk about how significant this pass is. This is Dunmail Raise, and a bit further on this road splits into 2, and in the middle there is a cairn, and the cairn is a historical cairn, goes back to the Battle of Dunmail Raise, where the King of Scotland and the King of the Saxons fought and defeated the King of Cumbria. Legend has it that he died on Dunmail Raise, and his warriors put stones on top of his body, which created the cairn. Now, the historical evidence doesn't bear that out, because there is written evidence that he did a pilgrimage and he died some 20 years later. But that doesn't mean that the cairn isn't from that time, because another story has it that his warriors put a stone onto the cairn, each as a soul stone, sort of as a good luck stone for the battle, which I don't think did them very well. Wasn't very lucky. It was a very bloody time. Anyway, I'll tell you some more about the Battle of Dunmail Raise when we get to the campsite today, because that's very significant. Not a bad day really. It's said the wind chill's going to be severe. Yeah, I can believe that. There's not much wind already, and I'm starting to feel cooler. I'm not going to layer up because I've got a lot more heat generation to do coming up. Going up there and along that ridge. I think I'm about halfway up now. Seat Sandal, Wainwright 24, 736 metres. Now, this is just the wall. I reckon it might be that cairn over there, so let's go and bag that as well. Double bags, Wainwright 24. Seat Sandal or Seat Sandal 736. So I didn't know whether the Sandal was anything connected to the Sandal in Wakefield, close to where I live, which is Sandal Magma. It isn't. It's an Old Norse phrase. Apparently it means Sandulf's hill pasture. Yeah. And whilst we're doing the facts, there's a bit of human intervention has made a bit of nature on this even more incredible. The water off Seat Sandal falls into the most spread about locations. It goes that way into Ullswater, it goes that way, and it ends up in Thirlmere, and it also ends up in Windermere, which means when it hits the sea from those locations, it's the most diverse locations. Now I'm not hanging around because it's what's the time? 7 o'clock. I want to get down to the campsite. That's Fairfield in front of us. Maybe it doesn't look much on the camera, but tomorrow I've got to go up there again to follow the ridge along to Man Rigg and then down to the Stone Arthur. Yeah, so, but actually that's basically the climbing there, so it's not that much, and it's all downhill. Yeah, we've gone full Arctic. I've got the full down gear on, put 2 layers on, and this down jacket. Got my down hood if I need it, and I've got this hood on top. I'm going to sleep in these. The wind is going to play a significant part. I don't know if you can, how much it's coming across on the camera. That's my tent set up. I'll show you a bit more in a minute. The wind is absolutely howling past it. So there's Grisedale Tarn, and this little beck flows out and it goes around the corner. It does a proper S shape around here, so I'm camped. I'm almost on an island. There are a couple of campers just over there. In fact, there are 3 campers and a dog. When I saw them, I went over and I said, "Is it okay if I camp here?" I think we're far enough apart. And just as I was speaking to them, I'd left my tent poles here and my bag. There were 2 guys coming along here with a backpack along the side of the tarn. And I could hear their teeth grinding as they knew we'd got the beach. Right, so my setup. Underneath I've got my foul mat, Z-Lite, Quilone. Got my air mat blown up. I've got my summer sleeping bag inside my 75 litre pack liner. Just a bit of extra warmth on my feet. That's going to go down there. I'm a bit paranoid about cold, to be honest. Got my pillow right down the bottom. I've put my coat on this side and I put my bag on that side. The idea is to try and keep me in the middle of the tent, because I always seem to squash myself into the side and then I end up falling off my bed. I don't know. Can't see under here. I've got all my spare clothes are in the purple bag. The white bag at the bottom, which is actually the pump sack for the air mat, I've put all the loose bags into there. Electronics there. I've got a different head torch today, a bit better head torch than that miniature one, because I'm anticipating it's going to be quite dark. We shall see. Food is all in that yellow bag. Spare pair of socks, which I'm leaving out in case I need them. Sit mat. Right, my foodstuff's there. Right, I think we'll get a cuppa on. Unfortunately, I messed up the recording of the reading from Wainwright's books, so please accept this as a substitute. Without its prominent tour of steep rock, Stone Arthur would probably never have been given a name, for it is merely the abrupt end of a spur of great rig, although it has the appearance of a separate fell when seen from Grasmere. The outcrop occurs when the gradual decline of the spur becomes pronounced, and here are the short wall of rock, like a ruined castle, that gives Stone Arthur its one touch of distinction. Precipitation. I suppose I might as well finish the story off of the Battle of Dunmail Raise. So there's fairly good evidence that there was a battle there between the King of Scotland, the King of England and the King of Cumbria, and that the King of Cumbria was defeated. And apparently Dunmail was the last King of Cumbria, because it was regime change at the time. That's what they were doing. So the legend says that his body was covered over with stones in the cairn, but the historical researchers sort of said no, his body was not. He died later, much later, on a pilgrimage, which could be right. But there's an interesting side story, and that's his crown. He had a gold crown apparently, which was very probable for kings of the time to have gold crowns like that. And the legend is that his warriors didn't want the crown to fall into enemy hands, not least because it was a very valuable thing, but that whoever wore that crown was the King of Cumbria. So they brought it up to Grisedale Tarn and they threw it into the middle of Grasmere Tarn. But why hasn't it been found? Well, Grisedale Tarn is 33 metres deep. It's quite a sizable body of water. It's not the deepest tarn in the Lake District. It is the highest substantial tarn in the Lake District. And it has, as well as water running into it all around, there are two streams, one on each end, that run off. One of them you can hear in the background. And of course it's gold, so metal detectors wouldn't work. And the battle was in 954, so it's very unlikely that it would have been found quickly then. And of course the silt builds up and it'd be under the silt at the bottom of the tarn, if it happened. But it's interesting, isn't it? The tarn does have fish in it. There are brown trout and perch and something else. Yeah, there's quite a few of the tarns. Some of them were stocked as a food source. And I think I have bored the gods into stopping the rain. No doubt we're going to get some more. I might just have a peek out and see what the star situation is. Well, I just got quite excited. It's 12:40. And I just, on a hunch, had a glance outside and I can see some stars. Now, I've been sort of doing a bit of research, and it turns out the Osmo Pocket 3 does some really good time lapse. So I'll set it going. I'm going to bag an hour reminder on my phone. Yeah, so let's see what it does. It could be good. Morning. Good morning. Well, tent held up. I am glad I was in a tent last night. Didn't seem that windy, but I stuck my hand out with my anemometer. And on a bit when it wasn't blowing that much, 25 miles an hour, which obviously is that's a significant amount of wind. Now when it does blow a lot, I don't know whether it's just the position I've got the thing in, but you can hear like a really high pitched hum on the top of the tent. So it is having some wind on it, and it's not moving at all, and it's not flapping. The bathtub lifts up, but once you get stuff in it, it's okay. So I'm pleased with that. Just got breakfast underway. You can hear my bacon fizzling away there, and I've got some squashed brioche, and I have an egg somewhere. Did some time lapse in the night and a time lapse this morning using my Osmo. I'll have told you about it. Yeah, that was. First of all, it's a better camera, so I think the quality is going to be better. It can do all sorts of fancy stuff, like pan from left to right and all that kind of thing. That's got potential, that. There's no phone signal here. I've got a Kindle book saved on my phone, so I read that for a little bit. I got to sleep quite quickly. Can't believe this height. I'm gonna, before I pack up, I'm gonna do some longer shots of it. It's incredible. Just looking at Dollywaggon. Did that, don't know how, well I do know how, incompetence. Managed to when I use my bladder to filter the water, filter some into the pan to boil. And I left it stood up, but unlocked. Next thing I noticed there's water in the centre because it had fallen over and decided to discharge into the... I've got a cloth, so I've wiped it. Oh, that's good. I've not... Normally I'm sort of packing up as I'm going along, but my organisation's a bit better today. I think it can be in a tent, you've got the space to do it. So I've tended to put things in an organised way. And there's the old coot. And you can see I'm just in the meander of that little stream coming off. Just started raining, so I stopped and put the pack cover on just as a precaution. I don't want to, I don't mind myself getting wet, but my gear, and keep it dry. Just started on the path up to Fairfield. This is going to take me a while, and the legs haven't really started working properly yet. Oh, that's a beautiful place, Grisedale Tarn. Grisedale means something to do with pigs. I suppose that's another connection with where I live, because I live in Ossett, and that's something to do with, well, look it up, you might laugh. Oh. The wind is definitely freezing. It makes you feel very cold. I've got this coat on, as you can see, wrapped up, and I've got a beanie on underneath it. It's going to be worse up there. Wainwright 25, Stone Arthur, 503 metres. Well, that's a funny one. Don't think I've ever had to descend so far to climb something. It's been 20 mile an hour, blustering to 30 all the way down, with sporadic rain, sometimes heavy. I put these leggings on to stop the wind chill because it was bitter on the top. The climb up to Fairfield was difficult. But short. Right then. Red leader, where is the path? Little duck, there is no path, you're in a plane. Red leader, oh my god, I've done it again. Little duck, watch out for that mountain. Red leader, oh my god. Red leader, can I have new underwear? And back at the car. That was an interesting walk back. From getting to Fairfield was hard work. It was weather wasn't nice. As it was predicted, the clag came down as I was going up, and suddenly you couldn't see anything. The wind picked up and it was raining, quite heavy. But I'd planned for it. I got my clothing on. I used some waterproof leggings, which I'll never use again. They're not very good for that purpose, anyway. And I'd got the cover on my bag, but and I couldn't really film because of the weather conditions. I took lots of photography with my phone. Yeah, and on Fairfield, couldn't see a thing. Thank goodness for the cairns. You can see the next cairn and walk cairn to cairn. Wainwright said that it's terrible up there for getting lost. It can be very confusing, and I can see that. Found the path, and you're motoring then because it's a straight path and it's level or going slightly downhill even. Got onto Great Rigg, split off by distance from Great Rigg to Stone Arthur. I'm really glad I didn't do it last week, because with my bad foot last week, it finished me. I really couldn't have done it. It's quite a long way from Great Rigg. And you get there and you think, well, why is this the prominent one that's named? I climbed down 350 metres to get to Stone Arthur. So you're climbing down to Bag o' Wainwright. And then the route back down, it's hard, short, hard. Lots and lots of steps cut into the bank, which will tell you how steep it is. But some absolutely stunning places that you go past. It's been really busy. When I got to Seat Sandal, coming down I saw a group of 4 or 5 lads walking back, and I could see another 2 people in the distance, which I've not, that doesn't sound like many, but that's a lot. When I got to the camp spot, I've already said there were a couple of tents up already, and I went and asked them if it was okay for me to camp where I was. I mean, I wasn't near, but then 2 other guys walked past. But then this morning, I got packed up and I set off. Oh, I saw, walking just by the tarn, back to the footpath, I think I saw 4 people. Going up Fairfield, that annoying thing, this guy passed me. And in a blink of an eye, he was on the top. Yeah, he must have had rockets in his boots. And then there was someone running down a bit further up. On the gap, a bit between Fairfield and Great Rigg, saw 3 or 4 people. Coming down Stone Arthur, before I got to Stone Arthur, I saw a dozen people. And then from then on, a couple of dozen people. I've never known it so busy. So Grasmere looks really busy, so that's great for the trade. I've got myself a nice coffee. I think it's Lucia's Coffee and Bakehouse. Oh, that's a nice coffee, yeah. And I've just had a sausage roll, very indulgent. Right, so that's it for this week. 25 Wainwright bagged now. There's going to be a break for a few weeks from the Wainwright bagging because of circumstances. But there probably will be videos out. Just they're not going to be as long as these ones. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. Really do appreciate it. Please, I love talking to people in the comments. I get some lovely comments every week. It makes my day, some of them. You wouldn't believe it. So nice of people to take time to speak to someone they don't know. It's really appreciate it. And I shall see you on the next one. Bye.